back here at Felix Meritis, almost at the end of a long and intense day of fashion and I, this online one-day fashion festival organized by the Dutch Fashion Foundation. My name is Andrea van Pol, the moderator of this conversation with the theme participation in fashion, and I'm glad I can participate with three wonderful women from out of the fashion. I have to say, one person, Elise van Jolen, had to cancel because she didn't feel well, but we have three left, and I'm going to introduce them: Pascale Gatzen, Margreet, Sweerts, and Saskia van Drimmelen. And we start with Saskia van Drimmelen. Let's say if you have 1 minute and you jump through your career, how would you do that? To people who hardly know you.
I studied in Arnhem at Artes together with Pascale.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for a long time, and after we graduated, we started a collective called Le Cri Néerlandais,
which already was a participation, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. The Cri Néerlandais.
Yeah, we bundled our
strengths,
forces, and talents, and we had a dream to show the world our work.
Which worked, huh? Because you immediately went to Paris, and it was a big success.
Yes.
It was a sort of new, fresh group jumped into the fashion world.
Yeah, so maybe Pascale will tell a bit more since I have only 1 minute.
No, that's okay.
And after two collective shows, we all went our own way, and so it was Pascale Gatzen, Victor and Rolf, Marcel Verheijen, and Lucas Ossendrijver, and they all started going their own direction. I started my own brand under my own name, which I led for 8 years, and
I'll give you one more minute. And then you
I had to stop.
Yeah, you stopped.
Yes.
Wow.
Because it was really it was too much.
Yeah. To have a show
do two shows a year, and I didn't feel the necessity anymore, and I really wanted to reconsider how I wanted to be present in the fashion world. And then I started Painted Series together with Margreet, Sweerts, and Desiree Hamme.
What is that?
It's a fashion collective. We started in 2006, and we make all the items mostly by hand, and we work with people who still know very beautiful crafts techniques.
So, like in Bulgaria, you did some things. Okay, well, let's stop here.
And and then Margreet will continue.
Yeah, okay. But first we go to Pascale, because you studied together in Arnhem, Artes, and Cri Néerlandais, hot shots, and then... But your career also, if you have 1 minute, jumped from one to another. So tell me, how did your life
Well, I did a talk last week in which I included Saskia.
Yes.
I often include Saskia in my talks because I talk about the conditioning that we inherited from being at Artes and doing the fashion department and kind of being educated as competitors, which I think was a conditioning that we and a lot of us were kind of, was not so constructive for us. So for a long time we couldn't collaborate, actually, really, like as Le Cri Néerlandais doing each our own collections, but later on we did have the opportunity to collaborate, so we really had to challenge that and I think that has actually been the basis of the work that I do now, which is all about collectivity.
Okay.
And about participation, actually, because I think participation is really important to give people access to different types of experiences. So education has become an important part of my life. At the moment, I'm heading the master that Angelique started once, called the FIA then, Fashion Institute Arnhem. So I'm also very grateful to be in that line of
And
tradition.
you lived in New York for several years, didn't you? You taught there as well, huh?
Yeah, I was invited in 2007 to design a new bachelor curriculum at Parsons in New York. And I was very doubtful about doing that, taking a full-time job in an institute, becoming a full-time teacher, basically, which never happened because I always kept my own practice. But so that was challenging to make that decision, but I also felt and knew that that was the right thing to do. And then I moved back, actually, to take on this job that I'm doing now.
Was it because you were asked for this job, or did you want to leave New York anyway?
No, I didn't want to leave New York, and I also didn't want to leave Amsterdam when I moved to New York.
Torn between two lovers.
No, not at all. But it was just this feeling, this gut feeling that I had to do it. Like New York, why would I leave ever New York? But there was this feeling inside that this was my next step, to really create a master curriculum that continued the kind of work that I had been doing at Parsons, and that I could kind of expand it and bring it to another level.
And bring your own philosophy to the young generation, which is also nice. Huh?
Yeah, but also, the transformation that I see we need in this world. In general.
Yeah.
And I think with Corona that became even more clear.
Exactly. We're going to talk about that. Margreet, so tell me your story.
In 1 minute, eh?
Yeah, well.
Can I take some pause?
You see, the minute is a bit elastic.
So I start with, I was educated as a theater director in the Toneelacademie Maastricht, Bos, tango. For 20 years I performed and gave lesson in Argentine tango.
Wow, so
And
you're
then,
a great dancer.
Yeah, well, some people think so. And then I did a master in theater making at Das Arts. And there I met Pascale and Saskia as a teacher and mentors. And that was a very fruitful meeting. How do you say that? Sorry for my bad English.
No, it's...
I manage. And then I was invited by Saskia in her research project, Painted Series, and we continued that from then on. And that's the base of my work, basically. But beside of that, I do kind of projects that are more the entrance point from the performance side. As the Festival of Sadness, I initiated with singer Christina Fischer, and the feminist needlework party with artist Emmeline de Mooy. That's basically 1 minute, I think.
Yeah. And you together with Painted?
Yeah, from Painted Series, that's my basis in the work.
Can you just explain what the Painted Series, what is it? What is it about?
Yeah, it's about exploring different ways of making and distributing fashion. And it's about developing alternative scenarios to make and work and to live together. And expanding the idea of what a garment can be, I think. And researching a lot and thinking and making. And
Yeah, interesting. We're going to reflect on this year, but first I want to go, because there's a little group there working with Bas Kosters, and he was in a formal panel debate about activism, Bas Kosters, and now you are participating. Bas, what are you doing, and who are these, what is this kind of group?
This group is my group. These are the people I work with on my studio, and this initiative is called the Love Energy Machine. It's about bundling your energy, the energy that you put into craft. Because I was once hosting a craft workshop, and then I was so excited about all the people that came to work with me on that workshop. And where we were making small tapestries, and everybody was just so, with such happiness and intent, creating together, that I thought this energy is just so lovely. Then I made a quick drawing, like a little Bas doll sewing something. And then I gave it a title, Love Energy Machine, and the idea didn't leave me. And then a while ago, there was I was searching for the right moment to start with the machine. And then we had a masterclass for the Kunsthal in Rotterdam. And then we brought this to life. And I'm not really sure where it's going. So we're making kind of an abstract, because my work is always very figurative.
Yes.
We're making something very
Abstract.
abstract.
So you're going in a new direction.
Yeah, but it's really about seeing where this energy will take us. It's about companionship. It's about good intention. Yeah, it's very special and new for me, at least.
And really participation, because now you participate. And are you the best one in your broderie, or is
Well,
how does it? What do you think?
I think he's the best, though. But everybody's doing great. So
at least I'm
Why
very
do you
quick.
participate with this project? What do you like about it?
I like that everybody is like doing their thing, and it will all come together. So everybody's really working really hard, and in the end of the day, we have this amazing piece that we made all together and not by yourself. So that's really like a group.
So it's always better to work together. Yeah, we're going to talk about that
Yes.
with my three guests more. I just wanted to know, because of COVID, it was also a sort of experiment, like the world stood still, and we could also everybody could see how it can be. So, what were your reflections? What were your thoughts in a year ago, after the first month or the first 2 months, about the world, or about fashion, or about great thoughts? Yeah. What were your thoughts in the beginning? Was it fear, or was it hope?
It was just very stressful.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm the head of a program, a master program,
A little closer. Yeah.
which has a lot of international students. So I think we were all in, I felt it as a traumatic time.
Really?
Yeah, because it was so sudden. We didn't know what was happening, actually. And we had a lot of participants, and all of a sudden the school got closed, and we were not allowed to be in each other's proximity anymore. So the whole program had to move online. We had to create extra program because we have immersive learning experiences, which means that participants kind of go to places and participate in a community or do an internship. And that all couldn't go through. So it was a very intense time.
Yeah,
So I didn't have any time to reflect on it, other than the fact that I was enjoying walking in the park every evening after a day full of Zooms. So I remember the vivid evenings of walking in the park. It was spring, it was beautiful weather. So that I really cherish.
Yeah. Saskia, how do you reflect on this last year? Stressful, or
For
also?
me, the same. Those first months, I never walked so much in Amsterdam and all through the north of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I made long walks, and for
what were your
myself, for myself, it's different how I feel about it than for the students and my daughter. Because for me, it was almost a blessing that everything was a bit,
Stopped.
a bit more,
Relaxed, or
yeah.
was a blessing because you
Yeah.
you
I
noticed
started.
I worked too hard, or you?
I started embroidering a lot and preparing things I wanted to teach my students, and actually. At that time, I really enjoyed it, but I realized that for the students, it was really hard to not be able to see each other and, not to have the real experience and to learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important.
Yeah. Margreet, how
Yeah,
did you, because-
secretly, I was a little bit happy also because the possibility and the luxurious possibility to withdraw a little bit more and to do nothing a little bit more. And of course, the both ladies, they have a big responsibility as a teacher, but I don't. So it was a blessing in disguise for me. And I think for Painted Series also that we took the chance to dive into our archives and make a new website, which was also not possible if the COVID was not happened.
Because things stood still and you had time to
clean
up your house and check the archives and things like that.
Yeah.
And on a higher level, of course, I know, because, well, I heard somebody say, I thought it was Jérôme Dreyfuss, he said, well, we learned nothing from COVID. We had a chance to change everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a big chance for it?
It was a feeling of having finally a big chance to change things. Yeah.
But I think things are changing rapidly.
Yeah? In what way? How do you...
I think in both ways. In ways that maybe we don't desire and in ways that we maybe do desire. I hear a lot of people who are reconsidering the job they are doing. I hear a lot of people who are quitting their jobs. So I think for a lot of people it is, and for me it was kind of knowing that I'm doing the thing that I feel is most supportive in the world at the moment. So I think it also brought clarity, maybe also the isolation and the kind of urgency for me of the situation and the people that I was connected to. So I think this moment of urgency has been really important. And yes, big commerce will succeed and continue, and that it's both, I think.
Well, what do you think? Is it because people are also, like Jérôme, cynical? I heard a radio spot today for €300. You fly to Spain for a week, all inclusive, and I think, and everybody, and into fashion and into this world, people want to see shows again, want to socialize, maybe.
Yeah, but I really do think it's this stop also almost forces us to make a new start.
Yeah.
And just like Pascale said, I feel more and more people are looking for connection to nature, to each other, to spending more time, to exchange skills. I think it's the time.
I think it's a big challenge also with the new working places at home, working through Zoom and Teams and digital meetings that will change the work also, and it will also shape a new space in between real world and digital world. I think it's just starting to change a lot.
Do you agree, Pascale, which said it was very stressful and not seeing students in live and via Zoom? Is it a nice way to teach, or do you think?
No, fortunately in September, from September on, we did a full program. And I labeled everything as practice-based education, even our theory classes. Or our book club, we have a book club, that's basically it. So we've been very fortunate to do that. And what was really beautiful in the group, because it's a strange group, because they came in the middle of COVID to Arnhem from different continents, different countries. There's one Dutch person, and they came to study in Arnhem, of all places. And I think, but that made something special happen, because somehow they committed to doing that, whatever the reason was. And because we were grateful every week that we had another week of being together for 52 weeks now, which is almost, that's good. There's a lot of gratitude, there's a lot of connection in the group. The group is amazing. There's something really precious. And so it's precious in that way.
And because the theme of this conversation is participation, what kind of participation is really necessary in this business? Because it's always, of course, you have the designer and there's always participation, but now Bas also said, I'm one of the group. Who wants to? say
Yeah.
something
In
about
general, it's very important that people start to participate in the process of the making and wearing garments in what way ever.
Yeah.
Saskia.
Yeah, we started golden joinery 8 years ago already.
Oh?
Golden joinery, it's
Oh yeah, I know.
it's a yeah,
that's
it's
a
a
technique of when things
it's
are
a
broken.
fashion brand where it's not commercial at all, because we form a brand by repairing our own garments with gold. And first we thought it was about the repair, because we really thought this was such a beautiful gesture to make something broken more beautiful by use of your own hands. But when we started doing this in a small circle of friends and with other designers, just to see how that was, we soon found out that it was actually much more important to do this in togetherness and to really spend time with that garment.
Sorry that I interrupt you, but Andrea invited us to interrupt
Yes,
each other.
please interrupt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we could have made a toolkit and sell it on internet with beautiful golden threads and materials and the invitation to repair your broken garment with gold. But we strongly felt the necessity to do this in togetherness, to invite people to come together, to do something healing for yourself in togetherness. That's a great experience.
It's what Bas is telling as well. When
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
making something together gives a more, how say that? Satisfaction.
Yeah, and it's the
I thought about
experience
the Rolling Stones.
and it's also about the experience.
It's more satisfaction if you do it together.
Yes, and it's also that you share the experience that you can really change the world by your own hands immediately, now, here,
Okay,
like they are doing. And this is, I think, in these times, a very important experience for everybody, not only for the designers. And I think the role of the designer is more and more to facilitate these processes without being very high skilled and very high educated, so that their techniques can still serve people. But yeah, it's of great importance that you get a connection with what you're wearing.
Yeah, yeah. Pascale, what is talking about the future, the young generation? What is one of the important lessons or views or visions you want to teach your pupils, your students? Well, they're young, they're babies, aren't they?
They're not. Sometimes they're older than I am.
Oh, really? Okay. But still, what is it?
Well, I think the education that we do is structured to... It's about understanding that who you are and what you have is the most valuable thing that you can contribute to the world. So it's not about specific skills or about anything specific, but about what it is.
Genuine things or honesty or what it was?
No, it doesn't have that type of... It's more, what are they passionate about? What do they really connect to? And then grow their practice from that place. So what is it that they love? What brings them joy? What brings them well-being? And to kind of loosen a bit the conditioning of, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, towards, I want to do this, and I'm really excited about that, and this is how I want to live my life. So it's also very holistic. We don't only relate to things that they make or do,
but who they are.
But who they are. So it's
because that's what's the importance of that? That brings better fashion or better people? What do you think?
No, we don't. We also don't limit ourselves to fashion, because I think those domains are no longer isolated, especially with people taking agency in their own hands again and participating and connecting. I'm making furniture at the moment. I'm weaving baskets. I'm carving my own spoons. I'm making my garments too. We have the linen project. We grow flax. We are farming. So it feels like a more holistic relationship to life, that seems really important. And it's up to them, it's up to the participants how they kind of engage.
You said in the beginning you felt already a change going on. Do you feel that with your students that they're already thinking in a different way as when you were at the academy or when you were?
Yeah, but we're also offering different tools because we have compassionate nonviolent communication at the core of the program, which, yeah, it offers them a lot of space to really come to their own choice and their own kind of authenticity, if you want. And
Yeah.
it's just a very different type of, and collectivity is really important.
Yeah, so that wants to add something about that. What do you notice about the younger generation? Do you also feel that they think differently, that there is a change going on, and that there is more participation? I noticed my nephews and nieces, they're much more,
Yeah.
not having a car, they're sharing everything.
Well, yeah.
Television, bleh. I mean, they're different.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
they are different. Yes.
Luckily,
They want
yeah.
to collaborate.
I
They
feel
want
so.
to- They feel connected. They are connected with
Yeah.
each other constantly, and they work with that. And they are into collaboration and much more less to sharpen their own individual profile. They are more into doing things together, I think, and that's very hopeful.
Yeah. Saskia? You're
Yeah,
Penny for your
also
thoughts.
when I look at how aware my daughter of 13 years old is, I think it's almost, it also worries me sometimes.
What are your worries about?
Because, when we grew up, there were no worries. Everything was possible. Also, when we studied,
Sky was the limit.
and right now, the students have to think of every meter of fabric they buy. Is it they try
is it
to
necessary?
repurpose?
Yeah.
That can also be very inspiring to use existing material, but it's not as onbezonnen, how you say that in English. It's not as carefree as we.
All right, but they grow
But
up
it's not.
under these circumstances. Is your daughter as worried as you are? Probably not. Or
She's more worried than I even.
oh, okay.
Yes, about the planet.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Because
your worry.
she's demonstrating every Friday for Fridays for Future.
But there are values in that as well, I think.
Yeah.
There's a sense of belonging and community in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what
But also
I mean,
that they really want to do something together and make a statement and do whatever they can do to make a change.
And again, to come together
It's-
to do so.
It's really touching, I think.
Yeah. And what does is the language of the clothes, the communication of clothes, how does she think about that?
No,
With the
because
mother.
I care, she doesn't. Well, yeah. She likes to wear her dad's clothes.
Her?
And they look very good on her. Yeah, she likes to wear her dad's clothes.
Desk?
Her dad.
Oh, her dad's. Oh, sorry, Oh,
Yeah.
well, I like that.
Yes, it looks very good on her.
Yeah. Margreet, talking about the future, what are your worries, or what do you think? Like Pascale said, I feel a change coming up, and with this generation.
Yeah,
So
I'm very interested. I feel a need now to go also to the garments, to the real garments, and I also am very interested how that idea of garments will develop, because we, as we had our strong idea of individuality, and with strong borders, I experience now a much more fluid idea of identity, And that could also have an influence on our garments that are more open and literally sometimes and inviting to others to participate in your garments, for example, and telling us that things are not finished ever. So how could garments look like that represent this kind of new idea of identity? And that's what I'm very curious about, how that will develop.
Yeah. In a former discussion, it was about digital fashion. There was also sort of the idea that there was a look, and with a phone you could change.
Yeah.
All kind of.
That's the quick fix?
I don't know exactly, but
Yeah.
they were all kind of
for me,
futuristic.
Yeah, I really like the touch of. I like the touch of fabric.
Yeah,
and,
the textile.
how things are made, and I would really miss the hand. But maybe it will come. But I would always look for the handmade also in that.
Yeah, they were talking about that as well.
Yeah.
And I think with the handmade things is always, I mean, that's back to basics, is always something you have to learn or have to.
I think what I see with the participants in the program and people around me, we do the Linen Project, which is a large project in which many people participate. And it's really about reconnecting to nature, to the material processes, and the nurturing quality of that. And what I also notice, we're working on a collective garment, which we spin and weave by hand from the the harvest that didn't come out so well because there was a drought last year, but we're still doing it anyways. There's just a natural sense of community and belonging, and that's something that I think I long for definitely in the process of making together, what you guys also experience with golden joinery and what you did with painted. This natural sense of belonging and community, and I think Bas was talking about that as well, that comes from really spending time together through material practices and not, kind of moving beyond this part and just kind of.
Yeah, it's sort of.
Yeah, and by doing so, you also become aware of the time and the hands that are involved in every piece of clothing. So it's not a throwaway article. It should not be.
Oh, I know, but
And
it is in the world where we live in. But we hope
so we hope to show that every garment is still made by hands.
Yeah.
And still, I think it's funny that Bas calls his collective machine.
Stay with the microphone, Margreet.
Yeah. That the word machine is in the name of his collective. I think it's very funny because
It's human.
together they are a machine. They form a kind of human body-like machine. And I think this relation between the machine and the hands is a very interesting one because I also imagine that in the future, and we try to give an example also with painted series, that the machine can collaborate perfectly with the work with hands as we give the machine the right role, like making canvases and more also half products or open-ended products, garments that can work onto by hands, because that gives a lot of possibilities to that you not everybody likes to make a garment by scratch, and you can make kind of interesting invitations.
Yeah, sort of
half product,
and then you
and you invite the hands to participate in this piece of clothing.
and you cherish it even more, and you keep it.
Yeah, and then you don't have to be against machines, but use
And
them
they're
as
not
they are.
identical.
No.
The
So it's always a unique piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Sort of final thoughts, because we have a few minutes left.
Oh, yeah.
What shall we say about the final thoughts? What is the most important thing? Well, let me see. That's a difficult one. What do you hope for the future? That's a big question. Say something.
Love and understanding.
Say something.
Yeah, well, today is called Fashion and I, which of course should it be fashion?
Fashion
we?
and us.
Well, let me say something.
Okay.
I was really
Your
touched
Honor.
again by Angelique's invitation to bring us all together and to meet everyone here at the table. I mean, we are, of course, good friends, and to see Guus and to see Angelique and to see all the people that have been a part of our journey. And it's been a beautiful journey, I think, for a long time. So I'm just very grateful. I feel very grateful being here and being surrounded by you as well, Andrea. By people that I know for such a long time and that have witnessed my journey, I've witnessed other people's journey, and it's just been so beautiful.
It's fashion and
Thank
philosophy.
you, Pascale.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
So, shall I just run to Bas? Bas, how is it going? Because we have 2 minutes left. You have 1 minute to have your final thoughts.
Yes.
So what do you hope for the future?
I mean, I was very interested in this conversation because even my mindset has changed so much over the years. I could not have done this project 10 years ago. I could have done it, but with a different intention. So I think it's definitely, people can definitely change their mindset to become more collaborative, to become more connected. And I think as the world keeps becoming more global, it would be nice if we all could become more personal somehow, because the globalness of it all is just seems to just grow and grow. And I think that was also very nice about one of the nice things about the COVID situation is that it showed us how things could also be different.
Yeah.
Although they were also very shocking, of course.
Yeah. But it united also, eh?
Yeah.
The whole world.
So I hope for humanity and personality.
I think so. Thank you, Bas, for your good thoughts. So we have half a minute left. Margreet, Sweerts, thank you very much. Saskia van Drimmelen and Pascale Gatzen for your good
Thank
words.
you, Angelique and Mo,
And
for your
Angelique.
very hard work.
Thanks, Angelique. Of course, Mo, Guus. And there will be another hour and also a very good show of music by Thomas van der Does. So stay tuned and we will see each other and stay safe, sound, happy and together. Bye.